All right, welcome back to If I Can Be Frank with your host Tish Franklin, where we have honest conversations about relationships here on WNOV 860 AM 106.5 FM. We have Anaya still with us, and we were just talking about really just looking at relationships post divorce in the dating world. And so you were just expressing, how your husband made you feel, but then also the healing journey and how important it is to love yourself. So let's think of that in that sense. What do you feel like your most valuable lessons, from that experience that you had?
So walk with my head up so I can always see what's coming.
Okay, walk with your head up.
I walk with my head up so that I can see what's coming
Okay.
because it's unexpected.
Mhm.
And someone may appear to be everything you've asked for and then end up being the complete opposite.
Right.
And so I have learned to baby just walk with your head up so you can always see what's coming. Don't be so naive and so um in a need or in a desire for love that you don't see what's in front of you.
Right.
You don't see the red flags. You don't see the inconsistencies. You don't see the extra children that were not supposed to exist.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, walk with your head up, baby, so you can see.
Yeah.
Because if you're walking with your head down and your nose, because you're in love,
Right.
because of what's at face value, you end up staying in places where you shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's the biggest lesson that I've learned, and to ask questions. Go with my instinct. Go with my intuition. Go with we all have the spirit of discernment and be able to, when you feel something, know that your intuition is telling you you need to follow that. Don't shy away. Don't make excuses against what your spirit is telling you about a person.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Walk with your head up. All right. So thinking of walking with our head up, you mentioned that you were in a couple relationships
Mhm.
after that. What were those situations like? And then what was your learning lessons from those
Woo
ones?
child. The first relationship I got in post divorce, he was amazing, and we're actually really, really good friends right now. He is one call, that's all. I make jokes all the time and tell people, that's my man, but not my man, but he's my man, but not my man. Probably somebody else's man, just not my man. Um, because we are really good friends. If I ever need anything, he is right there. He's my biggest cheerleader, my biggest supporter. He just is lying is his fluent language. And he is the type of male who has to feel needed. And so when we first met, I was coming out of the divorce. Money was funny, just getting my business off of the ground. He helped me with my business in the beginning. He took me in Best Buy and was like, get whatever you need, bought my computer and everything. And so when it started to take off and I became, the tax unicorn, then he didn't feel needed anymore. So he started acting weird and doing weird things and lying and, you know, being inconsistent. And I remember the day that I left corporate America to focus on my business full time, we all went out to celebrate. And he told me, oh, I'm tired. I'm going to stay home. And so me and my girls, we went out. We're in the bar. We're having a good time. I'm buying everybody drinks. And my friend is standing in front of me and she's got this weird look on her face. And I was like, what? I go to turn around to see what she was like, no, turn up, friend. This your song. Turn up, friend. She doesn't want me to see what's behind me. Well, he's walking in.
Oh, wow.
In his Sunday's Best Honey Michael Jackson leather jacket on. Okay. With not one, but two women.
Okay.
And you was supposed to be asleep.
Right.
It was a whole situation.
Yeah.
So I had to make an exit.
Rightfully so.
Right from that situation because you playing with me. You playing. And I haven't done anything to you for you to, be doing like this. But in building our friendship over the years, because at this point we've been friends for about 7 years now.
Yeah. How do you go from that to friends?
Because at the end of the day, he's not a bad person.
Yeah. Okay.
And neither am I. We're just not any good together. because you can't lie to me. You
Mhm.
can't cheat on me. You're not going to embarrass me in public. Because I have a large following. I'm a very social person. So if I'm posting someone as my man, you can't be outside,
Right.
walking
will be
around
looking.
with
They will be
somebody else.
looking,
They gonna be like,
yes.
did y'all see my text lady? Man was up in here with two other girl. They would drag me for filth. Do you hear me?
Right.
I can't do it. So he's amazing gentleman. Amazing. Hands down. Will give you the clothes off of his back. It's just lying is his fluent language. And he's
Mhm.
not a faithful person at all.
Okay.
And so those are two things that just don't align with what I want. But outside of him coming in the club with the two women, and me just deciding like, nope, I just got out of a marriage. And fun fact, I didn't even know my ex-husband was cheating until I filed for the divorce. And we went through the financials and I saw these hotel stays and
Mhm.
he was spending all the money on people,
But not on dinner for his
but not on
family.
dinner for his family. So to find that out, I was like, yeah, I've already
I
been
found that
down.
out post-divorce,
Honey, that
too.
financial
Yeah.
appointment, you be
Yeah.
like, you did what?
Yeah.
And I'm working 2 jobs trying to pay this labor and delivery bill. Baby, it was a mess. But yeah, so just coming out of that and then seeing, the lack of regard or lack of respect at the time that this individual showed by, whatever your relationship or situationship was with these people, I just didn't want to deal with it. And so
Mhm.
I ended the relationship at that point. We didn't end on a bad note. Like I said, we're the best of friends to this day. He's always laughing about me still being single. He still be trying to circle the block.
It's always one that
He
keeps
still be trying to
circle
circle the
block.
block. And I'd be like, no, you fam now.
Right.
You bruh.
Right.
Hey, bruh.
Right.
That's it. You are not bae. You bruh.
Yeah.
And we gonna keep it right there. But no, he's cool. So that was that. And then I took a break. And then I got into a relationship. I want to say it was during the pandemic. I think it was 2020 because I remember being COVID. And I
Mhm.
remember feeling very irresponsible by even kissing him on our first date because I was like, you ain't checked his COVID test, do he? You about to die trying to find love, girl. Because remember, we didn't know what COVID was. You know what I mean?
Right. Make
So
sure they have COVID
right,
or any
you know,
other STDs.
You ain't on no
Two of 'em.
quarantine.
Right.
You going to work
Yeah,
every
two
day.
tests. Right.
Right. Can I see your my chart? Like,
Yep. At the my chart.
Because back then we didn't know what it was. And I was
Right.
like, I remember meeting him on his break at his job and just feeling so irresponsible. Like, girl, we are on a state shutdown.
Right.
What are you doing? You
Mhm.
trying to die. Because back then, they got the death count every day on the
every
TV.
day.
So in my mind, I was like, oh, I know that this is such not a good decision, but oh, yeah, well, we'll see how we'll see what happens. So I met him during the pandemic. We met on a dating site. I've tried every dating site known to man. I don't care what it was. Bumble, Facebook dating, eHarmony, Match.com, The League, which is like a prestigious one.
Yes.
Like I have tried every single dating site. And what I have found is that all the same men are on all of them and on them for years.
Yeah.
So either you're not really looking for anything serious or you really have a whole family or a whole wife or a whole girlfriend and they just don't know that you're on these apps because the same people are on all of them.
Yep.
But we met on an app and our birthdays were 2 days apart. So we connected in that way that we were both Leos. He asked me how many children I had. I told him 3. He said he had 3 children. He just seemed like he had a good job. So he met, the income requirement. He came from a nice parent, had his own place. So I don't have to worry about you trying to move in, everything seems fine. And he showed me so much love. And we were talking about marriage and we were together for about 1.5 years.
Okay.
When I met him, told me about these 3 children. And so for 1.5 years, I thought he only had these 3 children. And at this point, I've moved them into my home. I created a room for his children. We're one big Brady Bunch family. And later found out he has 8.
Oh, wow. Not 3.
Not
8.
3.
Okay.
He had 8. And he was playing house with us every day. And you have 5 other children who don't see you, don't know you, don't nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
So I found that out and I was just done. It took literally over a year for me to find that out. I never knew.
Wow.
Phone
what
never
did he
rang.
say when you addressed it?
Honey, I found out on a humbug because like I was telling you before, I filed some back taxes for him and he was like, hey, I didn't get it. Can you just check and make sure maybe they took it for something? And I was like, okay, well, give me your child support login so I can see if they took it and applied it to there. He said, okay. He gave me the username and password to his account. I logged in and there were like 5 other cases.
Wow.
And so me initially, I'm like, oh, this is a data breach. What are all these So I get on the phone with child support. I'm like, hey, this is a data security breach. Like, y'all got somebody else's information in this account. And the lady was like, no, ma'am. Those children go to that account. And I'm like, what? Are you serious? So I instantly called him like, hey, is it something you want to tell me? And he was like, yeah, I knew you were going to see it when you logged in. Are you serious right now?
Mm-hmm.
You knew what I was going to find when I logged in there? Boy, bye.
Yeah.
Good day. Good day. And I'm sorry for your children because they're a casualty of war. They got to go.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got to be gone by the time I get home.
By the time they get
Everybody. I don't care. Everybody got to go. I love y'all, but y'all got to go. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
How the audacity?
What did he say? What was the explanation?
No explanation. Mm-hmm. None. I wanted to tell you. I just didn't know how. We have been together for a year and a half. I said, dude, we were talking about getting married, right? When were you gonna tell me when we were walking down the aisle and the baby mamas was standing at when they say, did anybody got something to say, object, and the baby mama standing up there like, I do. Is that when you was gonna say something? Or maybe you weren't gonna say nothing until we got married and then your baby mamas ran down the child support to get an increase because now it's calculated off of both our income. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? When were you going to say something? You had time.
Right.
You ain't said nothing. You got to go. Mm-hmm. You got to go. I can't do it. And I had to apologize to my children because I hadn't healed. I hadn't done the work on me from the divorce. And so I fell for the baithood trap. Mm-hmm. Somebody loved me. Somebody wanted to marry me. He was telling me all the things that my ex-husband told me no one would ever see in me again. And I let him come into our space. And it was very stressful for my children because they have always had their own bedrooms. They've always had their own stuff. They don't walk around and have to close their doors. Things started coming up missing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. My daughter would go in her room and smell her perfume had been used. And you know what I mean? It was just a lot going on. And so I had to apologize to them and tell them I will never disrupt y'all's space again. Trust and believe that. Yeah. There will never be another person that comes and steps foot in this house, let alone their children. This is your house. I just pay the bills. Mm-hmm. I frequent here from time to time. I'm so busy with my business. I'm a phantom. When they hear me coming through the door, they're like, Mom, is that you? Just to make sure that is me. Like, this is your house. This is your space. This is your domain. It should be protected. Yeah. I will never have anyone else in here again. And I haven't even had a visitor. Like, you can't even come to my house. Mm-hmm. That's how serious I am about it. Because I feel like we were violated. Yeah. We were violated. And the kicker was the entire time we were together, he would say things like, I'm not the type of man to be asking no woman for nothing. But every time I do something for you or your children, you don't say no. Nah, baby, that's good. You don't got to do that. Nah, baby, that's good. We don't need to go there. No, baby, that's good. You don't need to, if I did something for one of my children, I did something for yours too. I'm not going to do for one and not everybody that's here. If I see something you might like, I'm going to get it for you. If we go on vacation, I'm taking y'all with me. Like I took y'all on y'all first plane ride. Y'all have never been outside your zip code. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you lied for a year and a half with a straight, looked at me every single day with a straight face and never said a word. Baby, y'all got to go.
Ooh, yes.
So after that, I was traumatized. I was traumatized. I said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead. I'll be putting people in the bucket. I'm gonna go ahead and put myself in the bucket and put the lid on.
Yeah.
Because clearly I'm making the wrong decisions. And I need to figure out why these things keep happening to me. So God put me in a season of isolation. And it wasn't just with men, it was with people in general.
Yeah.
I'm still in a season of isolation. My circle is not very big. I don't date. I've been single, no friends, no prospects, no text messages, no nothing. My first time going on a date was Sunday in the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying. I don't.
Now, I know you say you went on your first date Sunday.
Whew.
Okay, we're gonna get to that story, but before we get to that, which to me it says like, okay, maybe you're coming out of season of isolation, right? Maybe we're gonna dip our toe in the water and see what it's like out there. We might pull our toe back in, but
I put my toe back in. I pulled it back. I pulled it back after Sunday. I pulled it back.
But like when you are ready to go in and start dating, how do you feel that you're gonna kind of handle past baggage, right? And then your new priority, like I'm assuming you have new priorities for what you want in a person.
Absolutely. I don't have any baggage. I'm no longer a prisoner to my past.
Love it.
So the baggage for me is gone. It's in the trash. It's at the landfill. I understand everything that has happened thus far in my life. I processed it. I went through a season, the last 12 to 14 months of a period of healing and forgiveness. I can't stand my ex-husband, but I don't hate him. Like if he were laying on the ground, I might give him the water. That's progress.
Right.
But I don't harbor any bad energy, any bad feelings, any baggage. I'm not, I'm a very optimistic person. I don't look at people and think, oh, but such because he did this, then you might do that. And I've been lied to, cheated on, and everything in between. But I still choose to see the good in people. So for me, dating going forward is just going to be, is this person in alignment with what I prayed for? Is this person in alignment with what I want from my life? And as long as they appear to align, I'll give it a chance. If if something doesn't align, no matter how big or how small, and my spirit tells me, I'm not, you get no grace. And that's just how I'm choosing to move forward, because I have to protect my heart and my mental space and my legacy that I'm building. You know what I mean? You never know why people want to be around you. And so for me, it's just, do you align with what I want? And I really don't go anywhere to meet anybody. So it's got to be kind of hard for me to be in the dating scene. But, everyone around me knows I'm single. So people try to set me up on stuff, or maybe a client who's, shooting their shot, or, whatever the case may be. But I'm very open to it. I love love. I believe in love. I want to be in love again, but I want it to be right. And I want it to be what I deserve. So that's where I'm at with dating. It's just, right now, I'm going to stay in my little, I'm going to stay in my little bucket. Yeah, my little bubble. I'm going to stay in my bubble, though. It's like every time I come out, I'll be like, nah, y'all still playing. Let me go back in. Let me go back in.
So let's talk about that. You ventured out just a little bit.
Honey.
Dipped your toe in the water.
Yes.
And it was not the greatest experience.
It was not.
What happened?
Oh, my goodness. It started off so good. Okay, so let me tell you, first of all, this person has been flirting with me for 3 years, and it has been going completely over my head because I was in a season of isolation. I was not paying attention. I wasn't looking. I wasn't searching. So everything this person has been doing has been completely going over my head, right? So they finally made it clear, like, hey, I've been following you, not following like stalking, but following you like online. I've been following you for 4 years. I admire you. You're the GOAT at everything you do. Like, you're such an amazing person. My love language is affirmations. So I'm like, Well, say more, how you really feel.
Right.
And so it started off good, and then I was like, if you promise not to be a distraction, I'll give you my number because this is a busy time for me. So it's like, I promise I won't be a distraction. I understand, I won't have to be trying to have you tied up or whatever. I'm a very patient man. I can wait till April. I'm like, okay, you saying everything I like to hear. Give him my number. We go on a date on Sunday. Everything started off good, right? First half of the date, amazing. So I'm feeling like a little giddy girl. I haven't had attention in a while. So that's, that part of me is enjoying, the flattery and the nothing, the stuff that dudes
Yes.
say. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm feeling it or whatever. So the place we were at was getting ready to close. We went somewhere else because we were having such a good time. And it's the second part of the date where everything got a little weird. And so I'm asking him questions, and he just was like one red flag after the other.
Mm.
He tells me he has a real life stalker.
Wow.
Like, not for play. Real person that is stalking him, hacks his phone, and
What?
red flag number one. Child, I was
Okay.
keeping count. Okay.
Yeah.
Red flag number one. Red flag number two, your baby mama's still in love with you.
Mm-mm.
She sent a message, tagged the Usher song, baby. Sorry, we can't make it to forever. Girl.
The good. Oh, goodness.
Red flag number two.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Red flag number three, I thought you had 2 children. You tell me at the date you got 4. That was like a trigger because we going back to
Right.
Mr. Mystery AK. I looked him in his face. I said, I'm going to ask you now, how many children do you have?
Mm-hmm.
He said 4. I said, okay. How many mothers? 3. I was married to 1. Okay. Red flag number 3. I don't even know what red flag we on, child. So then
5.
from there, I said, well, I did a social media dive on you, but I haven't looked you up on CCAP yet. So is it anything I'm going to find when I go out there? He sits back. What you sitting back for? What's going to be on CCAP? I said, as long as it's not domestic or you not breaking it entering. I'm the daughter of a kingpin. So if it's a little drugs you had going on, judge. Everybody had to do a little something to survive. But anything else, we're going to have a conversation about. Well, it's domestic. Oh, so you like to hit women. That ain't the word I use, but you can know the word that I use. You like to hit women. Well, no, it wasn't that. And he told me what happened. And I was like,
story wasn't adding up.
Red flag number 4 or 5. I can't remember which one we on. That don't sound right to me. So then it went from that to he started talking about marriage, and I was like, okay, well, how do you feel about a prenup? And he was like, oh, I would sign a prenup, and then he scoots in closer and he looks at me with these eyes, and he's like, but Anaya, I would never take anything away from you. Child laughed in that man's face. It wasn't. It wasn't even on purpose, girl. It was just reflex. Okay. Right. I laughed hysterically. I said, let me tell you what I do know. Okay. I done lived through this. Mm-hmm. Okay. You couldn't have paid me $1 billion but you couldn't have paid me $1 billion to believe that my ex-husband would have left me for poverty, hunty. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have never believed you.
Right.
And we were together for 12 years. And you sitting here telling me I would never take anything from you. Boy, you don't know me. You know what I'm saying? You don't know me. And people, that sounds good now. But when you're in the thick of something and you want someone to hurt as much as you feel like they've hurt you, you will do anything. And I haven't worked this hard to build what I built for my children and my grandchildren for you to come along and think you gonna take it. Baby, I'm gonna have a prenup, a post-nup, a mid-nup, a end-nup, whatever ending-nup I'm gonna have. You hear me?
Yeah.
So I said, the fact that you're trying to convince me otherwise, you say you'll sign it, but then you're trying to rationalize why a person shouldn't have, oh, well, when I get married next time, it's going to be for nobody goes down the aisle thinking, this only going to be for a couple months. Mm-hmm. Who does that? Everybody walks down the aisle thinking it's going to be forever, but I live in this world. I don't know what universe you on, but things happen. You can't, no one can guarantee the future. So I was checked out. Mm-hmm. I was checked out after that. And then he said, what was it? Oh, he asked me, how do I feel about more children? I said, no, he said, are your tubes tied? I said they're not, but they're about to be. And I went in because I'm a talker. I was like, yeah, my doctor's got this thing about God's gonna send me my husband and he's not gonna have any children, and I'm gonna have to be obedient and be fruitful and multiply, child. That'd be the only way. Other than that's the only exception to the rule. Other than that, I'm not having no more. Oh, well, I want another baby. Honey, when I tell you it was smoke coming from my feet. Baby, I ran out of there so fast. Yeah. I ran out of there so fast. He said, why are you running? I said, the devil is a lie. I'm gone. The devil is a lie. I'm out of here. What do you mean? He said, you don't think that's selfish? It might be. But let me tell you something. I have an 18-year-old going to graduate from high school in May. My daughter is about to be 17 in May. And the last child we had is about to be 9. Honey, I wish I would start over.
Yeah.
At 38. Okay? Mm-hmm. And have to be somebody's mama till I'm almost 60. Are you crazy?
I think people understand that.
You are out of your mind. Yes. I said, in the fact that you already have 4 children and you want another one makes me question your character. Because who would want to do that?
Right.
Why? You got 4, I got 3. What? You trying to
really involved. You would already know. And you probably wouldn't want another one.
Honey, it's been real. He says, you're not even going to let me walk you to your car? I turned around. I said, nope. Baby, I ran to that car so fast. Honey, as soon as I got in the car, he was sending text messages. Okay. So not having a child is not a deal breaker for me. I said, let me tell you something. It's a deal breaker for me. Mm-hmm. I said, because the thing I know about people is that you're saying now it's okay if I don't want to have a child, right? And then let's just say we get together. We're in a relationship 3, 4, 5 years, go down the line. You're going to ask me for a child and I'm going to tell you no. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to say, but I don't ask for much. I sacrifice so much time away from you. You ain't never here. You always working. Can't you just give me this one thing? Mm-hmm. Baby, God put it in front of me clear as day. I'm not doing that with you.
You walking with your head up.
So I can see what's coming. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go on now. Go find somebody else.
So doesn't seem like you had well we'll get to that in a second. Let's take a quick commercial break. $49 minutes.